Yo, what is happening? Welcome to the 15th day of Couchdoodles Live Inktober edition. Today's word is legend. And yeah, I am your host, Fragaboom. I was told that it would be nice to have an angle that was closer up. Let's see, let's find the live here on the tube, and hopefully it won't be loud again like it always is. So this here is to accommodate the close-up, or at least something that's closer than what you're used to. So thanks to Shane. Shane said, let's do one that's closer because I'm so far away. At least I feel far away in the shots. I'm also gonna hit this light up right here. This might give a little more love, a little more light. Who we got in the building? Mr. Green, Akuma. Hello, gentlemen. Good to have you. Good to see you. Today is Tuesday the 15th. It is my stepmother and her twin sister's birthday today. Send a happy birthday out to them. Try to hit those birthdays if I can. You're watching the close-up camera. You can thank your friend Mr. Shane Campfella, who is a regular guest on the show. What do you call that? Audience member, couch doodler. What do you guys want? What do you guys prefer? I think it'd be cool to have a moniker to carry on. What's up, Jason? How are you, sir? Thank you very much for sending me the info on that burnishing tool, because I looked up steel burnisher on Amazon and got all kinds of weird things, and my wife showed me some things too that looked really strange. Punisher Warzone on the rack is one of my childhood favorites. Yeah, this one right here. That one's great, man. JR, he did his thing. I even have a whole section on JR in our special magic box called the iPad, and maybe what we'll do today is take a look at those. Cutaway covers. Oh yeah, where they called that, I believe they called that die cut covers. That was the thing back in the day. You had chromiums, you had foils, you had holograms, you had the sublimated. The ones that when you move them, there was like animation, but it was like a plastic that you could make the fricky sound on. What up, EJ? Happy Hump Day Eve. Yeah, that's right, it's a Tuesday. This week is already geared up for me. The He-Man layouts got approved. I worked on He-Man today. I worked on Legacies today. Gonna be working on He-Man and Doom Patrol, and a couple more commercials came in. One for Floor and Decor, and another one for Pepsi. So things are busy here in what my studio is called the Cave. That's what we call it. I call it the Sanctum Sanctorum, like Doctor Strange, because it's a place where all the creative invisible becomes visible. So it's a lot of fun. Let's see. See, Shane, this is this angle is for you. You weren't feeling this angle. Not feeling it, but you were hoping that I can have some of these news ones. Like I can, what do they do in the news? The newscast, they go, and over here we've got, see, I total delay, and then I go over here, and hopefully that switched over. Again, we need Matt Yackey here running things. I have my 2 robo cameras that will do some tracking. I'd like to be able to use those, have some handheld stuff, have a cameraman like Matt Yackey so we can shoot some green screen, come off of the green screen into the sanctum, and then the other room that we have over there, I can actually take you guys for a walk. You guys want to go for a walk? I'm going to show you the mess that is the room that is eventually going to become the a Couchdoodles workspace. But we didn't buy this place, we're renting, so we're trying to save up to buy a house, so then I can actually take all my books out and all that stuff and really set up. So this right now, it's almost like when the military goes somewhere, they set up home base, but they know they're not there forever. So it's that sort of feeling. We get the job done. So I'm gonna take you guys on a little journey. Let's do that. I'm gonna see what I can do here with this camera. All right, here we go. Big hugs, man. No worries, dude. No worries. I'm gonna switch this. That's how you look at that camera. See how you can switch behind? I can actually do that with each of those cameras. You want to look there, back behind this camera. Look, artboards. That's what's behind that camera. Because the cool thing is iPhones have 2 cameras on them. Couchdoodles. Shit. Oh, maybe in high school. All right, here we go. I'm gonna take this light with me here, so I'm kind of lit. All right, so let's take a walk. I'm gonna take you here into the other realm, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay. This is the computer room right here. This is that's the new computer where I'm doing the music. And then in here, you can see, I'm gonna take this light out, move my hand out of the way. Here is where the green screen setup is. And I've got all the lighting that I need. I've got this up here. This can come all the way back. But this is where a lot of the green stuff's gonna happen. The green screen stuff, not the green stuff. All right, we're in the dark. I can't see any of your comments, so we're flying in the dark. So this room here is the one that I said is eventually gonna become something. Right now it's the kids' craft room, but it is also where futures are, right? So here's a bunch of copies of The Grave. Look at all these Marvel, How to Draw Comics, the Marvel Way books. And then these boxes here are filled with these bad boys. And then thanks to Jason and my other sculptor buddies, I went to Hobby Lobby and got like the full hookup. And then I even got some of the professional grade stuff in the mail. So that's what's happening in here. So I thought it'd be fun to take you guys on a little walk. You guys want to see something cool? Check that out. One of these days I will venture and put this together, but mostly I wanted this thing for her and for Tila. Look at this. Pro Builder, 3,508 pieces. Here's the studio. You guys want to see how it goes? This is tasty pork rinds. No carb chips. Aren't those great? So this is where all the Cintiq drawing happens. This is the one camera in the wide. Here's our close-up camera. Here's our lights. I have some bright LCDs that rim like this, so those comics pop. So our man Stanley pops. I got this row of stars. Our floating swear word of lights. The analog drawing disc. And this is El Tab array of art supplies. So that essentially is the studio, guys. This is, and now I'm coming back. That's how we do the switch up. Let's see what you guys had to say here. Oh, we're still on the effect. Okay, so that was the quick cool run of the downstairs of this place and all the potentials and possibilities. You saw empty sketchbooks. You saw copies of How to Draw Comics, the Marvel Way. You saw copies of The Grave. You saw Sculpey 3, Super Sculpey, NSP all the sculpting tools. I even got one of those little crank things so I can mix and get the colors and consistency that I want out of the Sculpey. And one of our Couchdoodlers, he was the one that hooked me up with all the right stuff to get. That'd be Jason. Let's see what we got here. Let's go, Couchdoodlers. What's up, Mitchell Coleman? It's good to see you. Thanks for joining in. We got Mr. Milton. You're at the Tool concert. That must be where Mayaki is. Except he's not there. He's here. He would be there if he was there. The Boom Room. I like that. You guys in the Boom Room. Comics legend coming out of nowhere with the Boom Room. I like that. Fear. Oh, you're talking about the Tool song. Heck yeah. So yeah, that thing was a lot of pieces that Mega Construct set, right? So today I saw something online, and I don't know if the word is triggered because it's such a word that gets thrown out, but I had seen this picture. Let me see if I can add it. Let me see if it's in my thing. It's not. It actually isn't, and I'm surprised because I had thought I had sent my wife this picture, but it's not in here, so it is what it is. So it was a picture of Ruby Rose as Batgirl and her girlfriend next to her, and Ruby Rose was doing the cunnilingus fingers, right? I don't know if you guys saw that. And I don't know. I didn't know how I felt about it, and not because let's not jump to conclusions or get gold medals in conclusion jumping. I'm way A-okay with anybody's sexual preference, choice. Even go as far as I researched the word gender and what it really means. It's not like categorization of sex. It's actually up until the 20th century, it was actually a classification within the social confines and villages. So people that are using it in a way that say 100 genders, they're actually saying it right. A lot of people that get caught up on it are the ones that are like, it's 100 different sexes. No, it's not that. So anyhow, that's my preface. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with Batgirl, a character that I know being gay. What I don't understand though is that gesture would be like the blowjob gesture, where you put the tongue in your mouth and you do the thing. That's like the equivalent on the other spectrum if that was the case. And if we saw Batman doing that same finger gesture, or North Star doing the BJ gesture, or whatever on the cover of a comic or for a promo of a show, I don't know how the world would take it, and I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to really deal with it. So my first instinct, like I said, the triggering is there's something wrong with this, and then I think I boiled down to what I thought it was, which was this. I don't make public gestures of my sexual preferences in public. I keep that stuff in the bedroom, and I don't need to make a statement in that sort of way. So anyway, that was stuff. Here's your question. So, got a dumb question. Did you really give your extreme jacket to Pisscore? How did you know about that? Was Ed telling people? See, now we're back on comics. I'm sorry, man. I went and got crazy with some social talk, but it was one of those things today where I was just like, whoa, hey, what the hell? What is this? This is like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, that shit's, it's cool and all, but there's a crassness to it, If I saw Spider-Man doing that posing with Mary Jane, you'd go, whoa, wait a second, that's a little racy and a little too much for Spidey. Okay, so back to the questions regarding the jacket. So Ed was coming to town for WonderCon. This was 2018, and he had mentioned in a tweet or a la Instagram or something where he said he was going to be in the land of Image and Extreme, and that he wishes, or he's going to try to make a sojourn, something like that, to the Catella office, which was like the most sort of out of the offices. It's like the 387 Park Avenue, like that's the old Marvel address that was like on the envelopes, and like that was the famous 387 Park was like the big famous one for Marvel. So the one 2400 East Catella was the one for Extreme Studios. So I saw Ed's tweet and I said, and I know Ed's a huge historian, huge Extreme fan, knows his stuff, and plus Ed loves hip hop, and I love hip hop. So I said to Ed, I said, bro, if you're gonna be in town, I'd love to be sort of your ambassador to show you around, and not only show you the famous 2400 Catella, but I'll take you back to North Berry Street. I'll take you to Nutwood. I'll take you to Catella. I'll take you to Topeka State College. I'll take you to where Rob used to live. I'll take you to Rob's first house. Like, cause they're all like literally, it's not even like a 5-mile radius. Like you could hit all of these, and it took us about 2 hours. And I gave him the history lesson on everything, like the whens and whys and hows of each place. And he had a lot of questions about, is this true? Is this true? Did this happen? Tell me about. It was fun for me because it was like a memory lane thing, and I'm sure it was fun for him because he got like a first-hand sort of like bus tour with somebody that was there. Like, you know, the rapper Grandmaster Caz, one of the old pioneers of hip-hop, he actually has a bus tour in the Bronx and Brooklyn where he goes around and shows you where all the cool hip-hop places were. So I felt really grateful for that. And I also knew, like, I have a green Extreme jacket somewhere, and I have a black one, and the black one was the first one. Rob gave us those as Christmas gifts in 1992, and we rocked those things on our first tour. And believe me, man, I love Extreme. I love the history. You know, there's the ups and downs, and those of you who ever deep dive know the past, and you know, beyond a lot of the negative and really focus on the positive that happened, which there were a lot of positives. I'm here today and lived through some things that make me who I am because of Extreme and those experiences and my comrades at the studio. That said, I didn't wear that jacket a lot. Like I wore it to the Extreme reunion, but it mostly just sat in a closet. And like I said yesterday, in yesterday's chat, I had mentioned that I have the lamp that Rob had in the Levi's 501 jeans commercial, the actual lamp, and that lamp was the lamp that was in his studio during his whole run on Hawk and Dove, his whole run on New Mutants, his whole run on X-Force, the first like 5 issues of Youngblood. That was his desk lamp. And when he was getting a new one, I asked him if I could have the old one, and he said sure, because it's just a lamp to him. And you know, he held no nostalgic value, but I have the light, the physical light that shone upon the desk that all these fun, exciting comics happened under, you know. So like, to me, it means so much, and I knew that if I could do something like that for Ed, that it would warm my heart. So I did it sort of selfishly because I knew how warm my heart would feel, but I also know Ed would really enjoy it. Let's see what we got here. Okay, that's cool, Mitchell. I didn't realize that you guys were on a panel together, and I didn't know he was telling people about it. That's cool. I'm glad. I mean, any picture with Ed I think he's in Japan right now, right? He's there till beginning of November. I'm like super envious. I really want to find a good copy of Domu. I can't find one that's not like a bazillion bucks. So when he's over there, I was like, yo man, can you hook the brother up? Mitchell, my pleasure, man. If you guys have any questions, honestly, like I know a lot of the time things we get philosophical on, and we get, and I'm happy to answer any of them regarding creativity, workflow, habits. I actually thought about a new one today that I'm going to start to institute and tell you guys how it goes. But if you guys want to hear any history stories, man, any happenings that happened, 28 years is a long time to have stuff happen. And I've been active in the comics community. Like before I broke in, I did my old show. So if you want to go back to 89, it's been 30 years. I've got 30 years of stories to tell. So the Andre, what's up, man? How are you, sir? Ed's fighting the typhoon. That's right. What is my favorite comic in the moment? Well, the new stuff that I've read, I don't know how new it is, but been reading this Tom King, Mitch Gerard's Mr. Miracle. I have the trade paperback, and I like how kind of out of the box the storytelling is. I mean, it's pretty straightforward plot, but I really enjoy that as far as a read. I haven't read it yet, but I am avidly buying Absolute Carnage because I think Ryan Stegman has really hit stride. I'll buy anything that Kyle Holtz does or Hotz. Man, you gotta tell me how to pronounce his name. I love the man. He and I were right next to each other at a convention in Texas a couple years back, and I just love his energy. I love his work. I love the person. I'll buy anything he does. There's a book coming out really soon, you guys, and it's called Shinobi Sasquatch, and it's on Indiegogo, and I want to talk about it because there's I don't know much about the story, and this isn't a knock on Cal, who's the writer, and he's on Twitter, and I like him and support his work. But that said, there's this guy, he's a tattoo artist, and now he's a comic book artist named Rob Willis, and he goes by Who Is Rob Willis on Instagram, and I think it's Who Is Rob Willis on Twitter. And I think I saw his stuff like maybe 10 months ago, maybe 8 months ago. I know I was living here in Atlanta and somebody had liked it or retweeted it, and I instantly was like, yo, whose stuff is this? This is great, because it had this sort of 90s old Platt, Sam Keith, Dale Keown, Bernie Wrightson, but all mashed up to be its own thing, and it gave me that excitement about an artist that I hadn't felt in a long time. So I'm really looking forward to that book. I'll tell you, the books is one of the books two of the books, the House of M and Powers of M. I think they are beautiful looking books, but I'm not a fan of that take on characters, and it's well written, but it's not my bag, is what I'm saying. And that's, again, not a knock on the writers in any sort of way, because it takes a lot of bravery and also creativity. It takes something that's been around for, since 1961. X-Men is 63, I believe. It's been around, for that long. And to do fresh takes, it takes a Grant Morrison and the stuff he did on New X-Men. I love that stuff. But this stuff's kind of leaving me cold, but maybe I'll give it another try when they're all out. wasn't a big fan. But that I forget his last name, but that Pepe dude is amazing, amazing. Let's see. Just need Philip Joseph. What's up, man? How are you, sir? It's good to see you. I recognize that avatar. Let's see if we have any other questions. Need some insight of a tight shot. This is more important, intimate. So you're talking, you need this one here. You like this one. This one is a little closer. It feels weird because it's like I'm looking here and then I'm looking here. But I'll look here and I gotta look down. Just discovered Kyle's work when he did a recent 2 arc on Detective. He's a mix of Wrightson and Kelly Jones, but on the crazy body types. Yeah, man, he's just awesome. And I love anything JR draws. Let's see. You drinking, buddy? I'm having some wine tonight. I haven't had any yet, but I'm about to have some. Man, Mr. Joseph, you missed my little socio-political tirade there for a second. I just kind of let my feelings fly on something. You probably would have got a kick out of it. How did you get all the How to Draw the Comics and Marvel Way books? Matt Yaki, what's up, man? Mr. Milton is at the Tool concert over there in Denver. I'm sure you're envious, as I am. Never been. Okay, comics legend. I'll tell you. I had posted a picture of my original copy that I got as a gift from my grandfather in the early 80s. I've taped it up and, it's signed by Stan Lee, but it's like really old copy. And somebody on Twitter had written, you can find them at Five Below for $5. I said, holy shit, $5. Like usually they're like 20, $25. So I drove to 4 different Five Belows and I bought all of them. And it looks crazy, but eventually I'm going to be giving them away to you guys. You guys are going to get copies and, it's going to be a trickle out thing. It's not like a mass thing. I'll do some drawings in them and whatnot and then get them out to you guys. Some of them will be for sale. Possibly. I don't know. Baby needs shoes. I did go political, Philip Joseph. I'll come back to it because we have twice as many people in the forum. And I'll make this quick and truncated. A picture came out that I saw today of Ruby Rose in a Batgirl promo, doing with her girlfriend kind of up in her face in profile, and she's doing the cunnilingus sign, for lack of a better phrase. I mean, let's go with the official statement of it. And I just thought it was problematic as a concept, and not because she's a lesbian, not because the character is a lesbian, not because a character in a DC TV show is lesbian. I don't care. I absolutely don't care. People's sexual preference doesn't bother me because I have mine, but it's you don't need to advertise what you do in your bedroom on an advertisement. You don't need to see Mary Jane doing the BJ sign with her tongue in her cheek with Peter Parker in her face, or North Star doing the same thing, or you don't say, hey, I'm me, buy my comic. Oh, by the way, I like to do this. It bothered me. That's all. The vector of that ad bothered me. Batwoman's awful, dude. I haven't seen the show. I haven't even seen the show, but just the concept of seeing a character from a comic book doing something like that. And you know what, man? If it was any other, I don't know. Like, if she did it on the show, maybe, I don't know. It's a different thing. No, if she did it on the show, it still feels crass. It feels crass. That's all. All right. Any other questions? And then we're going to jump into today's word, which is legend. And I have no idea. Yeah, it is TMI, man. You're right. It's TMI. Or maybe I'm giving you TMI. I don't know what you're saying, Yaki, but I do feel like it's TMI. That's what it is. D. Hi, Dan. Have you started drawing the grave too? Are you going to do a day for 365 again? No. And maybe. So the concept that I'm working on after He-Man, as a lot of you guys know, and I'm going to need you guys to start spreading the word, and I'm doing what I can to lay the groundwork, is Black Flag Pineapple Perception. Black Flag, Pineapple Perception. And it is going to be everything that a fan of Black Flag ever wanted and more. And then after that, I was thinking about doing the follow-up to it. I'm not going to get into what that'll be, but then I changed my mind because I have you guys have met her on the show, my daughter Lilybell. She is a voracious graphic novel reader, and she loves books like Smile, Guts. I mean, those are the same author. There's one called Camp. There's the Babysitter's Club graphic novel, Portover. She's just reading this one now from Disney called Witches, another one called Click. Anyway, she loves these graphic novels. And I have this story that is very much in that lane, and I've had it, and it's been written. I've had the thing for almost 10 years. It's more than 10 years. 2008. So I've had it for 11 years now, and I'd always been waiting for the opportunity to do it. It was potentially going to be my next panel a day project because I had it all figured out and paced out that way. But now that it's possibly going to be the graphic novel after Black Flag, and then the follow-up after that, or the follow-up to the Black Flag story, is going to be called Gears of Blood. So you fill in the blanks there. Let's see what you got. It just shows the double standards in the culture. If Batman did it, there would be outrage. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, man. All the sexualization in characters, it's just wrong. And agendas, you know? I need that flag, though. Who's publishing it? Mr. Joseph, I have a few ideas. I mean, it's going to be crowdfunded. I had this wacky idea this morning, and I don't know if it's even worth exploring, but I was going to talk to Rob and see what he's doing with the label of Maximum Press. That's the one. Black Flag came out as an image book, one issue, the black and white preview. Then as a color book, it came out through Maximum Press. So I thought, what if Rob's not doing anything with Maximum Press and I can somehow get the label from him? So anyhow, it's going to be either through Maximum Press, if I could get the label. If not, I'll create a label. I just thought it would be fun to kind of keep the old torch a burning. But yeah, there's double standards out there. And then also I discovered something else today because I got real mad at another tweet. And the thing I need to do, you'll notice I don't actually profess my angers. Not even angers. What is it? What do you call it when you see a tweet or a Facebook post where you're just like, this? What I just did. You look at it and you're like, you know, this girl had this shirt on that was talking about genders, right? And at first I got a little mad because it was like, gender identities is a capital oppression of what could blossom into being hundreds of genders and blah 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 blah. And I was like, yo, this girl crazy. Like 100 genders, man. Nah. Nature. Sure, there's snails and some other creatures that are like, you know, whatever, but there are no humans. So that's where my head went. But you know what I did? As a responsible thinking person, I went and looked up the word gender. I did. And of course, the first definition was kind of accordance to sex, right? Boy, girl. I was like, yeah, You know, that supported what I knew. But then as I went down, I saw that the definition of gender applied to classification of male-female sex is actually a relatively new concept that was brought about in the 20th century, where the word gender and what it actually means came about around the 14th century. And gender is really about someone's role within their society or community construct, right? So sure, that man's gender role is a masculine one to go hunting. But this dude here is also like a little more lenient to gathering. So his gender is here. This person is not gender fluid. They both hunter and gather. So like that was the essence of the word. So a lot of the crazy people, and I call them crazy people because they look crazy, and that's me being, I guess, judgmental. Maybe they're not crazy and I'm the crazy one, but they appear crazy. They'll use trigger words like that, and people will get into these sort of fights. You remember Dr. Seuss? I forget, they're called Zaxes, I think, and one's walking one way and one's walking the other, and they're at an impasse, and like, you know, time goes by and neither of them will budge. Well, on certain words and certain concepts, I think people aren't budging because they believe the definition of the thing is one thing, the other person thinks it's another, and they don't actually talk it out, and they end up just kind of tossing grenades at each other. That's my 2 cents. So that's the other thing that had happened. Aggravation. Thank you. That's the word. Not angry. Aggravated. Frustrated. What up, Comic Book Bob? How are you, sir? Kevlar, what's happening? Scott, what's up, dude? So we just been talking a little bit, telling some stories. You know, I've got probably another 3 minutes so we could go through and talk about, here, I'll go to the Philip Joseph camera where it bothers him and Shane, the wide view. We're going to come up with new views. Some of you guys who were here since the beginning got to get a little tour of the future, see some of the how to draw comics books, the sketchbooks, the graves, the green screen, that big area. It all depends on how long that we stay in this house. Ultimately, what I'm trying to do is save up to get our family a spot that we can call our own. But the universe is a funny thing, you know. It's like you could save up a bunch of money and want to buy a house, but if you lose your job, it doesn't matter how much money you have saved, unless it's like some considerable, like 30% to 50% of the sticker price of a house. No one will give you a loan until you have at least 12 months of a job history. So being self-employed now for a little over a year, now I'm starting to build it up and get to that place. And when we do, we're gonna have a very nice setup for the show and for the studio. I like what I have now, but I kind of call it like the military setup. None of my books are out. What you guys see is like bare bones. Let's see. Appear crazy? No, they are. Crazy. Yes, some can be. I've been attacked by both sides, and I don't know what you call it when you're down the middle. Is that a moderate? Some people call it a scab. I've heard scab. I think a scab would play both sides. I think someone who's down the middle has opinions on both, and it freely will say what their opinions are without budging. But like I said on the gender thing, I actually investigated and saw that, you know, I was triggered and whatever, but maybe that's it. But if she's talking like, no, I mean 100 sexes, you crazy girl. Okay, 3 minutes left. Don't forget to call Rob to re-up Maximum Press. Dude, he owes me a call. He knows that. I've left him 2 messages. Not regarding Maximum Press. This is new news because I came up with this morning. All right. We're at 40 minutes, which means I got to draw something regarding the word legend. I have no idea. There's the I am legend. There is legend /dairy. There is legend like the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. There's legend like sports legend. There's legend like on a mat. This is this. This is this. This is the legend. So those things. Down the middle, it's called normal. Thank you, Akuma. I appreciate that, man. Because sometimes I feel very lonely in this world because there's such a polarization that I see out there that sometimes I'm like, whoa, hold up. And it's coming out of a friend or a family member on both sides. Whoa, hold up. Whoa, hold up. Yo, slow down. Like, it just gets crazy. Today at the high school I work at, we've had a lockdown. A loner comic book kid had a 22 handgun. Everybody was blaming graphic novels he reads at lunch. Yeah, that sucks, man. And that has nothing to do with graphic novels. Graphic novels have been around forever. At the end of the day, it has to do with the kid. It's just these blaming external sources for things. There for every person that breaks and decides they're going to bring a gun or a knife or explosive or any sort of thing to school, for every one of those people, there's probably like another 10,000 that went through a similar experience that didn't do it. And then out of that 10,000, there's probably a good 8,000 of them that like fire-hardened steel, that fire of the bullying and that sort of oppression steeled their determination. I was one of those guys. I wasn't a popular kid by any stretch. I was beat up a lot, especially junior high and the first couple years of high school. And being a comic book dude was not a popular thing, I did my show, but it wasn't like nobody watched it. Comic book fans that like comics at my school, and there's like 5 of us, and like 3 of us worked on the show. But it still allowed me to get a press pass back in 1989 to be able to interview guys like Sam Hamm and Dick Giordano and Dennis Cowan, when I'm like 15 years old. But anyhow. Devil from Legend. I like that. I'm not going to be drawing Todd McFarlane, man. And I'll tell my Todd story one day. Devil from Legend. Stop gabbing. So I'm going to be doing him from imagination. So if I get him wrong, I get him wrong. I'm going to do him the best I remember, okay? I remember he has a big chin, a longer nose, real high cheeks, big horns that come out, and he's yoked, and he's Tim Curry. So he also says Wilderness Girls in Naked Gun, dressed as a Girl Scout. Same guy, which is awesome. All right, no more gabbing. Call me Gabby Gabster. Let me get this bad boy started up. But please, like I said, feel free to, if you'd like to, feel free to throw some questions in the mix. Here we go. I'm going to add the camera. Thank you guys for bearing with me on this. In we go. We are now in iPad mode. Boom. I'm going to take this and I'm going to rotate our canvas because I want it to be long. Alright, we're going to do this one because I'm going to show you. I'm going to go off on that technique again, the big chunk technique. I call it the big chunk technique just to get it. So our vantage point, to make him look cool and powerful, we want to be down below him. And you know what? I have to bring him down like this, and I'll tell you why. Because of those horns, man. I probably have these horns super wrong. Hold on. Is it like that? Or did they go down and around? I'm seeing them different in my head, like a couple of ways. So I'm going to do this way, like a ram. So basically what I'm doing right now is blocking in value and shapes and capturing the thing that I see in my head. And you're watching this stuff live, you're seeing this real time. You guys like that? That's like the freestyle challenge that I was telling you guys to come up with some words. So like on this stuff, this is a, hey, you know, Frega, draw this sort of consensus, right? You go, hey, let's decide on that. So I'll do a little bit of a perspective lesson on this guy here. I'm saying our eye line is right about here, so it's almost like we're sitting. So everything above this line is gonna have, we're gonna be looking up and under, and everything below it, we're standing over it. So we're gonna see the top sides of calves, but the underside of pecs, if that makes any sense. And that's, like when I'm drawing, I'm always thinking a point of view of where our camera is. I want to make his body seem even more massive, and the way I'm going to do that, this is an old trick good old Rob Liefeld taught me. Sometimes he takes it a little too far, but it's the old shrink the head trick. Big thick neck, big traps. And this is a lot like sculpting, I'm finding. Like when I was messing around with some sculpting this weekend, doing up a torso, what it reminded me of was this sort of gray chunk thing that I'm doing here. Scale this again. Again, like I said with the digital, one of the cool things we get to do is quickly change variables. You know, if I wanted to change his proportion in analog, I'd have to erase what I've done, some of this stuff that I already like that's working for me, and redraw it. And that, you know, that's sometimes that's hours and hours of work, you know. So now we got this head going. This is where I would come in and possibly try to make things a little more resolute before we go in and do the detailing on it. So I got this coming forward and down. It's got that brow, the underside of the nose. I remember he had these really crazy cheekbones, if I remember correctly. So anyway, this is again like really rough sculpting that I'm doing here. Yeah, 3D modeling will do that, man, and I'm noticing that when I was sculpting that it activated parts of my brain that needed it, especially regarding art. So then this is a smudge brush, so I can actually take this and do this. This is something I'm trying out with you guys watching. I was like, hey, I need to make that chin longer. How about if I just kind of push some of these values around, like almost like sculpting, right? Like just let's push these values around. So I know that looks kind of wackadoo, right? I don't like it, but I'm gonna make it so that I do. It's quite easy, quite easy. I'm gonna do that. And that's what we got for a start. That's what we got for, this horns are more like a capital U. All right, let's do this then. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Something like this. So this song, this is like what I do when I write a song is I always start with a beat first, and it usually inspires grooves. There were a couple of times that I was writing a melody from a bass line or some sort of chorus or something in my head, like the idea of a chorus. But most of the time I'll build something directly from a beat. I think that's it. Yeah, this still doesn't feel right. Hey, there's Cal. That's the Shinobi Sasquatch guy. This feels better to me somehow. They're shorter. The horns are shorter. Oh, don't send me the picture, Andre. I don't want to see the picture. Andre just sent me a picture. You know what I'll do? I'll look at it once. How about we do that? Aha, okay. He really looks like a girl there, though. Oh, we're drawing the devil guy. Okay, he's got... Those are some big, fat-ass horns. Okay, I got it. Alright, we're back. So this was definitely more like this. And now I'm getting back some recollections too. There's that weird thing around his face. I thought he had like a shoulder pads or a vest or something, if I remember correctly. Something more like this. I'll give him some sort of cool gauntlet things, and then skull. And he said, "How about a little head down here?" Sorry, that Batgirl has reset my standards to what I should and shouldn't say. So, blame those things. Oh, the devil ears. All right. I think our music just ended. That's okay. There we go. Using a little bit of the smudge tool. So here we go. This is what I've got is the chunk version. Or their cow-like pint down. I don't know what that means. Oh, see, they saw that I bought a copy of their book. I ended up buying a second copy of Shinobi Sasquatch because they offered a black and white version of the book, and I had to get that. I mean, Rob's stuff looks great. I mean, the colorist is doing great stuff. So okay, so what I'm gonna do is let's go in on this face. Okay. Actually, I got a way of doing this. We're gonna take this. We're gonna take this, and we're gonna completely flip it horizontally, like this. Just because we can. Okay, so let's jump in on these details. I'm able to walk around a little bit, which is good because our music died, and I'm gonna restart it. Actually, our music did not die. Our computer died that had the music. That's incredibly sucky. It's okay. I'm okay with that. Working in silence. Okay, so let's go. He had this crazy nose. That thing went up like that. These are the things, like when I looked at it real quick, I tried to gather as much of crucial information as I could to try to capture any sort of essence of the character in that brief time that I was able to look at him. There we go. Something's going on. Uh-oh. I don't remember if he had sharp teeth. No. Sorry about that, guys. The stream went down for a sec. It's been doing that, and I don't know why. It might be because I have multiple inputs going. I'm not sure. I think he had sharp teeth. Really strong, whatever that's called, not mandible, but that from the nose down to the under part of the lip. You see that in like the way Mike Zeck draws the Punisher, and Arnold and Stallone kind of have it, that tough guy underlip thing. Oh, yeah, fangs, thank you. Oh, big eraser. I need a little eraser. Hi, little eraser. Boom, take that, take that. Let's get those in there. Shoop. There we are. Fixed. Ta-da-doo-da. curious. I feel you say I like the political talk. Just curious, what's the status of marijuana regulation in your state? In my state, I think it depends on the county. Like Atlanta, it's very laxed. It's still nowhere close to California. You can't buy it legally here. I think having it is. I think they've decriminalized it in parts. So that was a good question, Mr. Green. A question about the green from Mr. Green. All right. There we go. Yeah, I'm curious too, and I think they need to do something about it. You would think. Here's the thing that's kind of crazy, and this is again where my conspiracy mindedness comes in. This state has the perfect weather. You know, the weather here is optimal for growing hemp. So I don't know. Maybe they're like not here. I don't know. I don't it. You know, maybe there's like an unfair advantage. It's like I don't know, because the best marijuana comes from Northern California, if you ask me. And even people in Amsterdam, when I was a judge out there for the Cannabis Cup, people in Amsterdam gave crazy mad props to California. They were humbled, like, you know, you're hearing people talk about that in Dutch, you know? Yeah, we can't get it here, which is a sad state of affairs. But, you know, with anything, there's ways. There's millions and ways. I've heard. All right, so then we're going to put whatever. I think there was some sort of thing on his shoulder. I don't remember what it was, though, but it was a thing. Philip Joseph, why keep it illegal? That's an interesting point of view. Why keep it illegal? What is your stance on it? Because I'm of the mind to legalize it. That is where my head is at on it. Oh, Andre sent another version of it. So let's see what we got. Oh yeah, he does have those things. It's like it's cape and there's like a chain, double ears. I got that right. Okay, cool, man. Thank you. All right, so this kind of was like went into a cape. Mr. Joseph, you know what I can do is I can send you the JPEG of it, but we're doing this digital. There's no original, sadly. There's no original of this, but I got no problem sending you the file. In fact, you know, at the end of Inktober, what I was thinking of doing, especially for you guys, like make it a show exclusive, or anybody, in order to get the link, you gotta go. Hi, Pepper. My dog just came in. She didn't come in here that often. How you doing, Pepper? What you scumming? What you doing, girl? Again, the new experiment that I'm trying now is to add more contrast and value in my stuff. is, oh man, broken brain right there. Recreationalized. I think, I don't know. That's when it was recreationalized in California. That's kind of the term that was used, but I think it's almost a very procedural thing when put that necklace. I know it was on the other side, but we'll see. It was like this. It kind of has to go through that stage to get to the next stage. You know, it's like you gotta crawl before you walk, and walk before you run, and run before you jump, and like all those funny adages. But I think that's what's got to happen. So you're watching Darkness get done up here. In that full figure, I didn't really see what he was wearing for. What up, Circuit K? Welcome to the party, my friend. Let's see. Let's go back and see. Oh yeah, there's nothing down below. But maybe it's just pants. Maybe he's wearing pants. Maybe that's what it is. Let's just turn this thing into like a furry belt. Make it a little bigger. Larger still. Then get up in here. Put some teeth on this guy. It is here in Oregon. I voted for it, and back when I was in Denver, legalized pot was following me. Hey, yo, what up? What up? Comic Vantage, good to see you, sir. This is my friend Lewis. You guys need to check his channel out as well. He's got a lot of really good comics, good comic talk. Real gentleman. We can thank him for helping get our channel here to 1,000, because about a little over a year ago, before we found out we had to move, I was campaigning to get this thing up and running, and thanks to Comic Vantage, there we got our 1,000 subscribers pretty quickly. So major gratitude to you, sir. So I'm just going to treat this like it's a fur something, and I think I remember seeing some sort of brass rivets or whatever people be throwing in their furry belts. Mitchell, which state is yours? Is it Virginia? Is it a tobacco state? That's what I would guess, just based off of just how things in this world seem to work. Big tobacco, unless they're in on it. Like I know Marlboro has filed for some copyrights and stuff for, or whatever, trademarks for packs of weed cigarettes, cigaweeds. So I'm just coming in here and throwing down some of the base values on dude's pants. Utah. Oh yeah, I know why. We have our Mormon contingency there. If the church owned a bunch of hemp fields, though, that would change. They were very anti-caffeine until They were major shareholders in Coca-Cola, which is interesting to me on many levels, as things can be. Just had a 102 nib go south of me. Is there a place I can get them cheap? Amazon's pretty good, man. Amazon has 102. If you really want like a really good shop, even though you're up in Oregon, there's a place that I used to go, and I still shop there when I have hard to find stuff, and it's in California. It's in Westminster, California. It's a place called Art Supply Warehouse, and their buyer there is a guy named Owen. Owen, you could call up, ask for Owen, and say, "Hey, I need to special order this." If you you can go on their website. Generally, they'll have it, but if they don't have it, like I would get my I use 104s. I use 104s a lot. Oh, it's a kilt. Ah, man. How about if I half sash this bitch like this? See that? That's how we do a kilt. But Owen over there at Art Supply Warehouse will definitely take care of you. He's a good dude, very knowledgeable, and can usually find things. Or if you're having trouble finding something, like my buddy Joe Jusko, he's an incredible painter, and there were some colors that he was having an incredibly hard time finding. And I was like, oh, if anybody knows where those are, that would be Owen. And then Owen was like, no, they discontinued that and blah, blah, blah. We had that for up until then. But then, he just had all these, he had a lot of really extra knowledge for a guy that could just be a customer service guy if he felt like he needed to be, but he's not. He really cares about what he does. So I recommend going there. Yeah, Kuma, exactly. It's because we are in Masters of the Universeville here at the Couchdoodles studio. It's all that's happening, really, comic wise. So a lot of my. Why is my daughter sending me stuff? She should be in bed. That's really weird. Owen's not a troll that lives under the stairs, man. Maybe, who knows, man? Owen's always been good to me. I never had to work with him, so maybe you know stuff that I don't, but I love Owen. Owen just has always taken care of me. That's why I give him high marks. So if I worked with him, maybe he has a different thing. I mean, I know how that can get, like my kids when they're at school, they're like so sweet and nice and good for their teacher and all this stuff. They get home, they're like rude and don't listen and let it all hang loose. So who knows? Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. That's weird. I didn't know he'd be a troll under the stairs. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe troll under the stairs is like the new hotness. Like I remember when I was a little kid, I was like maybe 4 or 5. So this is the 70s, and the term bad, B-A-D, like it was a description for, and we still use it. Yo, that's bad. But it was really prevalent back then. Oh, his desk is under the back of the stairs. Ah, shit. You mean literally he's under the stairs. Yeah, dude, the guy knows his stuff, though. He always knows his stuff, and like I said, he'd always was there to make sure that whatever I needed was taken care of. when it came to the art supplies that I couldn't find. But I miss Art Supply Warehouse, something fierce. There we go. Sorry, went quiet there. Went quiet there for a second. We're at an hour and 16, and like I told you guys before, I'm trying to keep these capped down to an hour and a half because of the super workload that I've got. And usually I have work overflow on Saturdays and Sundays. If the week gets too heavy, I'll do any overflow on weekends because a lot of the schedules have your weekends off. But if things take extra long or things end up happening, I'll use the weekends. But this weekend I can't use it because our man Harrison, he's turning 6 on Sunday, so we're gonna be going to the aquarium and taking him there on Saturday because we still have our aquarium passes. Matt, Andre, if you guys want to go, see some fish and penguins, definitely don't. This is a word to the wise. Anybody in the Atlanta area that wants to go to the Be Truman Forever, hell yeah, raise a finger to the sky, bro. I miss him so much. XL, that's our nickname for him because we had, at the time when I first met Truman, the gang, and I still talk to these guys on a weekly basis. We had Brian Pierce, Brian Scanlon, Brian Truman, Brian Murray, all of them like hanging out around the same time. So we needed like identifiers, So Truman ended up being called XL because he's big, big bouncer bodyguard homie, Okay, and then we're gonna say this thing creeps down and does this sort of deal. Do my fast renders. But that's what I was gonna say regarding the Atlanta Aquarium. It's like right next to the World of Coca-Cola. Don't do yourself a favor, get lunch before you go there. The food there is shit and costs a fortune. My family ate essentially what was a 7-Eleven meal. 7-Eleven, I realized that there are no 7-Elevens here in Atlanta. 7-Eleven is like basically your gas station style food. And it is like each of us, there was 5 of us that were eating for like shitty burgers and a Coke. It was like $89. Like it was just so freaking stupid. So I said next time we go, I'm going to be sure to make sure we don't buy food here. That said, they have bourbon like on every turn of the way, so I think they're ready for dads, So the way you're watching me draw right now is pretty much the workflow that I'm having for this new issue of He-Man. I did all of the layouts in this sort of gray chunk pencil first, and it allows me to see things in more complete volume and allows me to draw a little faster. I'm going to go a little looser for Rich this time around. I went a little, I was loose issue 1 because I was inking myself, and then Rich came in to do 7 pages, so he was inking over really loose stuff. And then on issue 2, I kind of overcorrected and went like super duper tight. So issue 3, I'm going to cut back a little bit. So we have 10 more minutes, so I'm going to show you guys a way to do, you guys going to eat afterwards like dinner? Yeah, dude, there's a seafood place right there. I forget what it's called. It's not Legal Seafood Kitchen. Maybe it's called that, but there's a seafood place that I wouldn't mind going to again. I haven't really brought it up to Brianna or not, but I think, you know, when it comes around to that, like picking what we eat, you know, if that's how we link up, I think that would be cool to be able to see you that way. Anytime hanging with Yaki and his lady and Andre and his lady is a good time. Put a little bit of cast shadow under here. Some striations like this. Okay, here's what I'm going to show you guys. It's a background technique that I use, okay? And you'll see it like when I ink Rob, sometimes I'll do it, but let's say I want a background back here. I'll take and I'll throw a series of lines in one direction, and I'll break them up like this, and I'll change some of the densities, but I keep them all going the same direction, okay? Like this. So you're seeing me throw these in. And this is a texture you'll see a lot, especially in some 80s comics, some 90s comics, a lot of Art Adams. Art Adams does this a lot. It's this really sort of like complex looking cross hatching that isn't really that complex. So then what you do is you change the direction, and you do the same thing, and you interact with some of the ones that you already did, but you also create new ones. So ones that are loners that don't cross over. So you're creating a bit of a imperfect pattern. You know, it doesn't look so much like a mesh. It can if you want it to, but I like to like break mine up into their own thing like this. And you'll start to see it coming together, but then again, see how I'm breaking it up. Like that. Then we do the same thing again with verticals. And you can pick where your shadow areas are going to be more dense and where they break up again. But again, you're still trying to think about not randomizing, but creating a human sort of vibe, so it doesn't necessarily look like a Photoshop brush or a machined pattern, you know. So then now I do the horizontal ones, and see how I stay darker in some of the edges like that, and then that's how we get that sort of thing. And then I'll come in with our eraser, and needs to be a little thicker, and do a little bit of like faux like atmospherics, like there's some sort of fire down below him. And then let's scale him up. And there's no time to color him tonight. I wish I could. I wish I would. There we go. And then let's sign it. There we are. Legend. Thank you very much for helping me out in what I should draw for Legend. I didn't even think about that vector at all. Really cool to be able to do it. Thank you to Andre Kromoff for helping with the ref. Very cool of you to do that, my man. Let's switch out. We are back over here on this cam. I'm going to turn this bad boy off. Raise a glass to you, gentlemen, and any ladies present. Open the floor up for 5 minutes for any questions or topics. And we can do that. Let's see. If Larry's in the mood for it, I suppose the birthday. Yeah. The Mexican place would be cool too. Horn, Thorn, Beastman, and Warrior. Yeah, dude, Drawn Sword. What's interesting, we talked about this, I think, the first night or second night of Inktober. What's really kind of interesting is creative people's minds, while they all work differently, we search and we run vectors against things. I say vectors because it's like lines and or echoes or mashups, like the one with Ash and Ash. That was another artist's mind collaborating with mine, because I just went with Ash of Pokemon, and a lot of the ones you've heard me say, like Ash, I bet we'll see some Phoenixes, I bet we'll see some Crashes, I bet we'll see some Firemen, I bet, and inevitably that I saw a whole lot of those because I wanted to see what people were doing for Inktober. I'd love to see some more anatomy vids. Philip, of course I will. Once Inktober's done, the show is going to be slightly more formatted. Not immediately November 1st, but pretty soon after that, I'm going to start trying to craft some more things. The show will really kick into high gear once He-Man is done, but we'll be able to do, like I said, I'm going to try to do them as often as I can. I was asked if it would be 2 nights a week, 1 night a week, every day. I'd like to do every day. It all depends, because, you know, when I think about this, if you take an hour and a half times 30, that's 45 hours. 45 hours is a full work week if you consider that time. And then you think about that, you go, well, if I cut that up into 8 pages, 8 hours a day, that's 5 pages, like 5. This show takes up 5 pages of my time. And that was the thing I wanted to tell you guys about. That was it. That was the thing. Are we frozen? It looks like we're frozen. I don't know if we are or not. Let me switch over here. There we go. Seemed like that camera was frozen over there. Let me check. Let me check it again. Yeah, it's frozen. That camera is frozen. Anyhow, let me tell you guys a little bit about this other thing that I thought about today, because a lot of times the question pops up about productivity, and one of the things and this is when I was waiting for my kids at the bus stop, because I realized how much stuff I have to do, and I have a lot to do, is if you break your day up into mini goals, right? Tiny goals, and you go, the concept is called 10 minutes at a time, or in 10 minutes, right? So if you say to yourself, I'm going to do a workout today, and I'm going to use up two 10 minutes, so 20 minutes. And when I take a shower, it cannot exceed, getting in the shower, getting ready, dried off, cannot exceed 10 minutes. Any time I spend on social media, it can't exceed 10 minutes, because we get so many 10 minutes in a day, right? Obviously we have minutes and those are increments, but 10 we're a little more capable of. And if I look at like a storyboard and I go, okay, well, I get 10 minutes per board, which that's a fast and loose board. I think my fastest are roughly around 6 minutes, and they don't look great, but they do the job. The really pretty ones take about a half hour, and I found that my comic book panels, roughly on average, because some go really fast and some don't go so fast, the average is about an hour and 10. So if I look at those and go, hey, those are increments of 7. But the idea of 10 minutes at a time, taking things 10 minutes at a time, seemed really good for me, because when you give yourself a limit to something like that, you'll find that there's edges being rounded off into other 10 minutes, and you'll find you have more time than you think you do. Let's see. Let's take a look at our board. Got a bounce, boss. Mitchell Coleman, thank you for joining, man. I really appreciate you being here. I know you probably rolled out a few minutes ago, but if you come back and watch, thank you very much. I'd love some more anatomy vids. Thought that. Any thought on Jim Lee's inking technique, especially the smearing of heavy blacks? I've tried it and the results were less than stellar. Scott, I like his ink techniques, but at the end of the day, what you're going to find is what works for you. First time I ever got the smoke effect with the thumbprint, I got that from Jim Lee back in the early 90s, like 92, 93. He was doing a piece, and I go, dude, that smoke looks so real. What'd you do? And he showed me with some whiteout on his thumb. And I literally used it in everything. I use it in a lot. I used it in the grave. I still use it. And it worked for me. But then there's other stuff, like, Eric Canetti uses these dual tip brushes. One's got like this felt sort of brush on the end, and on the other end is like a marker made by Mars Stadler. It's called Dual or something like that. No way, no how. And I did my Fragaboom approach of using the thing for a whole week, and only it. That pen and I just didn't like each other, and Eric is able to get results out of that thing that betray the tool, or the tool betrays him when it's in anybody else's hand, or betrays whatever. The tool is, in the artist, the best ones. It's an extension of yourself. So if you're focusing on trying to get exact results that Jim does, it could be a pressure thing. It may not just be like, oh, it's ink and smearing, or take a paper towel and rub it back and forth. It may literally be like a little missing thing that he's not giving, and not on purpose, but it could be a pressure. It could be a brand of paper towel if he's using a paper towel. But don't get discouraged. Just find your way. At the end of the day, you're trying for an end result, and if you experiment, you'll find what works for you, and that will make you the most happy. Because if you find yourself trying to follow a recipe in a recipe book, you're only going to be as good as that recipe, and probably second best. So find your way, and it'll feel right for you. I got one as well. Would like to see how to do panel to panel on it. An iPad and Procreate. So the way I do panel to panel in Procreate is I basically draw it like a page. I mean, Procreate is essentially a piece of paper, right? But it's got a lot of little extra tools that you can use digitally. So, excuse me, I'm so tired. Excuse me for that. But you can rule lines. You can draw circles. You can do a lot of that stuff. You can do layouts. You can do multiple layers. You can even do lettering. They have lettering now, and the new Procreate is supposed to have even more stuff. We're at an hour and 34, so I'm going to wrap some of these up. Once He-Man is done, would you take us through the layouts and your thought process? Absolutely. Actually, once the books themselves come out, not even when He-Man's done, when issue 1 comes out, we'll do a walkthrough. Okay? I will promise you guys that. Because there's a lot of stuff to share, a lot of stuff I can't show you, a lot of stuff I would love to show you. Video seems to be, but audio is working. Yeah, the one camera was freezing, and I'm not sure what the deal was. It's difficult balancing the 4-hour work week with the other crap. If I can even get an hour of productivity time to do it. What up, Jason Bascom? Canetti does great work. Yes. Circuit K, peace, man. Thanks for coming through. Come through tomorrow. We'll have another fun session and some more really great things to do. Tomorrow, in fact, I'm going down to the Doom Patrol sets to work with my director, and I'm going to be on set. Nobody's shooting anything. They have a lot of sets that they use, and I'm going to be going into the Doom Patrol mansion, which is one of the permanent sets there. So it's going to be really fun. to do, and I'll give a little talk about that. D, have a good one, man. Everybody have a great night. Tomorrow's hump day. You know, why don't you guys have a great one tonight? I'm having a glass of Chianti. It's delicious, and hopefully you guys will find yours as well. Thank you so much. If you could thumbs up the video, I would appreciate it much. If you can, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we come on. Try to come on around 9 o'clock Eastern time. And also, you'll see I have a 3-hour compilation video. If you guys just remember or whatever, or tell anybody, play that thing in the background. You don't even have to have the sound on if you don't want to. Have that thing going on in the background. And help me get those hours I need. We're up to 973 hours now, so we're getting closer and closer. We're inching closer to the goal of 4,000 hours, and your help is going to be doing it. Sup, jumped in late. Wayshack is brilliant at smearing. Yes, Wayshack is the bomb. I love that man. He's great. His stuff is great. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You have been watching the Couchdoodles Show with your host, Fragaboom. Have a wonderful night.
DMC, the face to beat, Fragaboom!